What's up with this defensive looting stuff, man?
Because you're talking to a group of people that have been that experience that I have with law enforcement and your experience with law enforcement. We're not getting that same feeling from the suburban areas with law enforcement. And if that has been your lived experience for decades, for the length of time, you're not going to come across police officers for like a bunch. But if you come across them 5 times and 4 of them are trash, and you have no experience of the other like good officers, so it becomes like, yo, you got to remember, we don't own these buildings in the places that we live.
Yeah, but I mean, people do.
And I get you.
Look at that firefighter in, you know about the firefighter in Minneapolis? It was his dream. He saved up all this money, opened a sports bar, and they burn it. They set it on fire. He shows up the next day. They're literally stealing his safe as he's arriving, and the news crews are filming, and he's crying. They end up launching a GoFundMe for this guy. The next day, the whole building was completely demolished. The rioters and looters came back, destroyed everything.
So let's talk about this. It's not the vast majority of the people from the community doing this.
Right. Let me tell you a quick story.
Sure.
And the reason I bring this up, I was in Ferguson when the riots were happening. I got there like a day or two after they burned down that gas station. And when the riots like reignited and this looting started, a bunch of young black men linked arms and protected that market.
Correct.
And this, I'm standing right next to these guys, and I'm with this dude who was previously with Al Jazeera. He's now with, I believe he's with Vice. And he asked them, what are you guys doing? Why are you linking arms? And he said, these people looting don't live here.
Yep.
We do.
Yep.
These people are taking advantage of us.
Yes.
And he's like, but guess what? The media is defending those people.
Correct.
In defense of looting. So they're coming from outside. They're attacking these poor people who are desperate. You know what really, really made me angry, dude? To see these young men facing down an angry mob saying, back off, it's our store. And then all these lefty publications put out these stories saying, actually, they were looting to fight back against capitalism.
Lying.
Yeah.
Media, most effective devil in America.
Now they got a book book called Defensive Looting. NPR interviews the author.
When I say a few weeks ago, I was in Philly. I was at Copa on 40th and what is that, Chestnut or something like that, West Philly, 40th Street. As I'm sitting outside having drinks, about 40 or 50 all-black Antifa start walking past. I'm strapped, so I'm good. I will light y'all all the way up if anything get goofy out here.
Because PA's got good gun laws, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna be a legend. Listen,
I'm
like Leonidas. It's not. I cannot. If I die in defense of freedom, you know how like that's nothing more honorable to me.
Valhalla.
You know what I'm saying? I got all. I'm floating in the pearly gates with. Here comes like all of the hot girls of every universe are coming my way.
But I want to make sure we stress right now. You're saying you would die defending it,
not
killing a bunch of people.
No, defending it.
Right.
And so I'm good. I'm confident in my skill set. So they're walking and they got on all black, but I'm like, it's clearly like y'all are white dudes.
Totally.
Y'all are totally white dudes. And I said, yo, it's no black people out. They got the bats. It's like a scene from The Purge.
Right.
And I'm having my Copa Cadillac. I'm chilling. And I'm like, yo, y'all all white. Where the black dudes? And it was one dude that happened to be black. He was like, we out here. I'm like, no, you're out here.
Yeah.
The remaining 49 is like suburban white dudes. And I said, y'all trying to y'all got that Soros money, huh? And literally the dude says, we trying to. Another dude says, we're trying to.
Joking though, man.
I lied to you not. And I'm so mad that I didn't want to have a phone in my hand because they had bats. I don't want to have a phone in my hand if I got to, get busy. So one of the dudes goes over to, if I'm lying, I'm flying. I swear, if anybody listening wants to do some independent journalism, Allegro's is the pizza shop across the street. There's one of these dudes with a bat, goes over to the ATM thing and starts trying to hit it. I get up, I'm like, yo, leave it alone. Y'all not from here. Y'all going to get my community. I'm not even from West Philly. Y'all going to get my community called out for this. Leave it alone. And they leave. The people that's doing this, come on, bro. It's pallets of bricks just conveniently left at places. So y'all are bussing people in.
The media debunked all of that.
What?
The pallets of bricks just conveniently placed in all these random places.
That's the same thing as saying, like, I got video of it. That's the same thing as saying, like, my homie saying, yo, Maj, look, I'm FaceTiming you. See this crate of guns in Chicago? No, that's not a thing.
I'm not saying the media is right.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, here's what I love, right? I don't want to get sidetracked, so we'll try and loop this back. But when we had Tucker Carlson had this woman on, she's a whistleblower.
Yeah.
She said that she worked at the University of Hong Kong. She knows that China like released COVID or whatever. Tucker Carlson had her on, and he gets flagged. It's fake news. They put warnings and blocks on a bunch of his content.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the media starts claiming that he had on a conspiracy theory, and I'm like, well, hold on. Personally, I don't believe it. I don't believe it was like a bioweapon or anything like that. But why do we get to choose which expert is a real expert and which expert isn't?
Who are the fact checkers?
So I'll tell you my personal bias. I think, again, I don't want to derail into COVID stuff. I'm like, look, man, if you tell me that there was an unsanitary market where they're like got all this really nasty stuff going on and then some like virus emerged from it, I'm going to be like, it's a simple solution, man. It makes sense. However, I do see the problem of the media in that you can have Trump come out and be like, here's a handful of studies that say this thing is a good thing. And then the media just says it's not.
Yeah.
So the media doesn't get to be the arbiter of truth simply for saying it.
Right.
So that was my point of reference to the bricks being lying around everywhere. All they did for the most part was say, oh, it's actually not true because we were told it's not true.
Right. And so I get flagged for stuff like I posted what Ruth Bader Ginsburg said in regards to getting a nominee for SCOTUS during the last year of the thing.
Right.
She said it. It's not me. I'm not like fake quoting her.
You're not Mitch McConnell. You didn't come out and like complain about Merrick Garland.
No, I just quoted what she said. Instagram's like, well, this is partially true because the date. Bro, cut it out.
Hey, dude.
Cut it out.
Dude, you know what they did to me?
What?
I tweeted. So when the Virginia Giuffre leaks came out about Epstein,
yeah,
I tweeted something to the effect of Bill Clinton was in these flight logs, and now a witness has ID'd him as having been on the island. This would be big news. Journalism is dead. It's just political advocacy at this point. Somebody took a screenshot. It got like 10,000, 12,000 retweets. Somebody screenshotted it, posted it to Facebook, where this fact-checking company, which is only a couple guys apparently, but they get this access, called it false information.
Yep.
And so when I went to I looked at it and it said, here's the fact check. The fact check said everything I claimed was 100% correct.
Yep.
Yet they still put the fake tag on it.
Media, most effective devil in America. These are all reasons why when I go say things like the Breonna Taylor scenario, like COVID, like this, like that. The media for a very long time has been the arm of whatever political side of the government. So you'll get this part extreme, you'll get that part extreme. So when law enforcement says, oh, we knocked on the door, when law enforcement says, oh, it wasn't us that dropped a bomb in Philadelphia on a residential block, I don't believe you. Now, if you prove to me that you're accurate, I'll go eat my hat. But believe you?
This is a big ethical challenge too, because so I would say idealistically, like when I take those political compass tests, I'm left libertarian, and I get really offended when people claim Antifa is left libertarian. They're not.
No,
the hippies are. The people chilling on the farm, enjoying the sun, and minding their own business.
Right.
And so realistically, though, when it comes to policy, I become more of a liberal because I think we do need more authority. And I'll tell you,
what do you mean by more authority?
I'm not saying authoritarianism, and I'm not even saying most authority, just a little bit, right? So
you mean a little bit more, or a little bit like a limited government?
I'm saying a little bit more. I think you need a little bit more authority than libertarianism. That's my opinion.
Okay.
And so the example I think that everyone loves to cite is, I don't know if you've ever heard, it's like the shopping cart problem. That the shopping cart is the perfect example of human civilization. You use it. It's the shopping cart is a free thing for you to use. You get your stuff. You're allowed to carry your stuff to your car, and then all you got to do is put it in the corral. You got to walk 10 feet. But guess what people do? They just kick it. They just dump it on the ground in a random spot. And they were like, there's no obligation to do it. The only reason you should is because it would be better for everyone else. But people still choose not to. And so I'm not. So here there's a serious ethical conundrum that I have to think about, is recognizing where the lines are in terms of when do we say people are too stupid, or when do we say let them do whatever they want. And to clarify, when people were living very far apart and there were very few people, you have a bigger bubble of freedom. You have more space, right? So one of the reasons I want to move out to the middle of nowhere where we are now is that I can go in my backyard and I can set up my archery practice and everything. I don't got to worry about neighbors because there's nothing around me. It's great. I watch these videos of people firing guns and like they walk out into their open space and they've got the range set up with all the dirt and all that stuff. And I'm like, you can't do that in a city.
Yeah.
The closer you get to other people, the more your bubble starts shrinking and the amount of freedom you get starts shrinking. And it's because we're desperately trying to accommodate each other. And then you start stacking laws on top of laws. I think that's the problem is people live too smashed together.
So I do agree with that in regards to you have to be
Whoa. Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
We got breaking news.
What?
30 seconds ago. Police officer. So this is legit. Where's this from?
It's from Luke.
Luke Rudkowski of We Are Change just tweeted breaking. Police officer shot near protest in Louisville, Kentucky. The video we have it pulled up. Oh, okay. So it doesn't show anything graphic. It's just a shaky video. People are yelling. I don't know what's going on. I want to be very careful here. This is breaking coming from Luke Rudkowski. So what you got to understand whenever it comes to whenever it comes to breaking news, everybody got to realize information will change.
Yep.
So we're live right now. We're talking about this. And of course, we're tracking this information. I'll tell you, this is why I want to live in the middle of nowhere too, dude.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I'm out. In 2022, I'm Thanos on my planet.
Thanos? You have
I'm
your
out.
garden? But are you going to kill half the population before you go to your farm?
If I don't have to, hopefully not. You know what I'm saying?
So anyway, just we're going to keep tracking the breaking news. Lydia will keep an eye on it. But let's go back to that point. We're talking about liberty, authority, how much space you had.
I agree in that you have to be. It's like shooting. I have to be more. If I have open space, my
Yosemite Sam, dude,
right,
bang, bang, bang,
right.
bang, bang.
I know that any direction is more than likely not a human or not something that I'm willing to destroy. I know my target and what's beyond it. You can't do that when there's more people around. So I do agree there. I don't think that your freedom, not the act of owning guns, that doesn't shrink. Where I shoot them, because there's more people around as a safe, responsible gun owner, that does shrink.
So this is interesting. I remember when they banned cigarettes everywhere? Like when
No.
when they started saying you can't smoke inside bars.
Oh,
and
yeah.
restaurants.
Like, no, not a no smoking zone, but like no in this whole building.
Man, I remember this because this was going down in Chicago when I was like, I think I was late teens, early 20s. It was I don't know. I remember how old I was, but it was like around the time Obama was running and stuff. So I'm this urban liberal. I had my teenage angst punk rock phase, and then I started aged out. I became more of a liberal. I was like, oh, Obama. But when I heard what they were doing with banning cigarettes, I immediately was like, why are they banning people from smoking? And they were like, oh, because it's bad for you. And I was like, so don't go to the bar. And they're like, but what if I want to go to the bar? Then go to a different bar. And they're like, but all the bars allow smoking. I'm like, then open a bar that doesn't.
Simple.
But instead, they pass a law banning all restaurants. You know what they did? I was in Arizona. This is awesome. I was hanging with a friend of mine. She was a bartender. They cut a tiny 1 square foot hole in the roof to be classified as outdoors. And I'm like, it's the stupidest thing I ever heard. You made them take a saw and cut through their roof, and now you're still going to allow them to operate like a normal bar. It's the dumbest thing.
But you know what's beautiful about that? I think so. Let's go back to that. You made a law that now, as a person that smokes cigars, I smoke cigars. If I smoke this cigar and don't put it out and then don't leave, you'll call a person with a gun to potentially come kill me for smoking the cigar.
Well, it's because inhaling the smoke is. I disagree with you guys. I used to work at a bar, and I was economically bound to it. So when they couldn't smoke inside, I was able to breathe. My life expectancy went up. I'm sure. My dad used to smoke in the house, and it was just
Horrible.
awful. Then my mom made him smoke outside. It was
Better.
so much better. But my aunt and uncle still smoked in the house. I didn't ever want to go over to their house. It was just disgusting trying to eat in a restaurant when people were smoking like across the room.
Go eat somewhere else.
You can't. But every restaurant you could smoke at, it was disgusting.
Don't eat
so
out.
This is. I think it's
That's
the
on you,
greatest
though,
ban.
dude. That's on you.
Yeah,
dude.
don't eat out. Basically, it was like if you don't want to participate in society,
or open a restaurant that says we don't allow smoking. So, for example, right,
Liberty.
the
I
mask,
was like
freedom over
14.
everything. Right. So you sorry, bro. Unless you like the kid that's like Ryan, like you're 14, you're not getting $20 million, so it's over for you till you're 18. But in that scenario, right, the free market is the answer. Take the mask thing. I don't want to wear a mask. I think that this is a sham. I think that it's real because I immediately started a group chat with like people that worked in the ER, paramedics, virologists, people that are way smarter than me, saying, "Hey, what's going on? What is happening here?" And they're like, "No, it's real. This is how people are dying." But media is making it way bigger than what it is. So early on, I was like, "Yep, not doing it."
With the mask, I agree because I can't smell it. I'm not physically affected. Whether I'm told I'm physically affected by it, I don't know.
It's really simple. The mask
is smoke. The mask is another world.
The mask is just so you don't spit on people.
Right.
It's
so, or you could just not spit on people.
Well, no,
Right.
but people don't realize, man. They really don't. Like, you people talk and spit happens.
Here's the thing: spitting happening. The death rate. Now that we have data, right? I get in the beginning. You're nervous about. Man, this is unprecedented. Cool, I'm with you. But then I was at my bunker. I was like, oh, this is what we trained for. I thought it was, remember how YouTube was snatching off all of the, like, people in China were, like, just passing out, like, just falling. And when it gets snatched off of YouTube, I'm like, bro, like.
That was crazy.
And it was gone.
Because they couldn't breathe and they're just falling over.
And so I was like, I went to my bunker and I was like, yeah, man, this might be like The Walking Dead. This might be it.
That's what I thought. Well, I don't know about The Walking Dead, but we were like,
this is it.
Serious, man. Yeah.
Now I was like, I got too many rounds. I'm ready. And
how many rounds per gun?
They say you should have at least 1,000 per gun.
I think you were saying that, right?
That's what
There you go. Anyway, continue.
So I said, let me wait to the McCluskey's point. I was like, just wait a little bit. Just wait and see. And I said, if I see 2 people in Philly like drop out, oh, it's go time. Nobody dropped. I'm looking at nobody dying. I'm looking at the inconsistencies in the story. I had people that worked at hospitals telling me that the CDC was changing the guidelines. I'm like, oh no, this is trash. This is not. There were too many holes in the story. So I made a choice to go, yeah, I'm not wearing it. And then I made myself the guinea pig. I went to all of the hot spots, all of them. I've been to Miami, Orlando. The Libertarian Convention was in Orlando. I jet skied. I went to Texas like 3 times. I've been to every hot spot for New York, every hot spot in America twice since this started. No mask. Got on airplanes, no mask, no mask, no mask.
The airlines didn't make you do it.
In the beginning. Now they on some like, hey man. And I'm like, yo, this is stupid, right? So what I did was, I was like, I don't want to argue with y'all every time I get on a plane. And technically, even y'all took a lot of government bailout money. You technically are kind of a private entity, but you're not. But I'm going to go get an RV. And that's what I did.
This is a really good discussion for like liberal versus libertarian.
Yeah.
Not that libertarians are all like liberal typically refers to like a center left. And the way I view it is maybe if I had more faith in humanity, I would just stick to straight up libertarian ideals. I think the mask is a good example of where we probably disagree. Mm-hmm. My attitude is just wear the mask. Mm-hmm. Like I hear a lot of people say like it's, you know, it's
but
them.
why?
It's not a big deal. It's just you choose your battles. You know what I mean? You choose when to fight. I view it kind of like being stealthy and being, I don't want to say subversive, but stealthy, I guess is the easy way to put it.
No one can see me. I can move a little bit easier.
Right. I don't want to start fights for no reason. I want to make sure that everything I do is targeted, specific, and I'm on a mission.
But it's not for no reason. Do you like so based on after the data comes out, right? The data's come out. Even the CDC's like, okay, bro, you got us.
Well, so there's political, social, and physical reasons, right?
Right.
So I think right now, when you look at the death rate, there's 2 perspectives. One, it's like we crushed the curve, man. 15 days to slow the spread turned into 170. It's ridiculous.
Right.
This now we're just destroying the economy.
So why are we complying with it in a symbolistic way?
No,
so,
that's the lockdowns though.
But that's the lockdowns are based on.
It's true.
And the masks, those are part and parcel. So if there's a compliance is in wearing a mask. Compliance is, non-compliance is Dr. King going like, because I'm pretty sure there was some people going, first of all, the mask thing this is a rerun. The anti-mask people happened back in the day with polio, especially like in Philly. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And Spanish flu.
Spanish flu, excuse me, I said polio. So the not wearing the mask isn't that it's not for nothing. It's I'm not complying with something that's not based in science. It's not what you lied to me about.
I disagree.
They lied. The models were based on things.
But well, hold on. So I think the challenge is, were they wrong?
Yes.
So that's different from a lie.
No. They initially, the first person, you guys know that the guy that over in, what was it, Oxford, that was like, hey, this is how many people could die if we do nothing.
Oh, that. Right.
That was the entire model. Models are what you use as predictions when you don't have data.
Let me
so that guy was wrong. They based their number off of that. Fauci knew Mr. Devious.
He straight up said, we told people not to wear masks because we were worried medical professionals wouldn't be able
which
to
is a lie.
Well, right. Exactly.
And he keeps lying.
Right.
So what we have is the overarching theme in tonight's episode is government officials consistently lying.
Well, with the mask, I agree with kind of both you guys. I think you don't know whether they're right or they're wrong, so why are you being forced to do it? But when you're talking about smoke, I want to go back to smoking inside. Because if we want to talk about government making laws for people and overreaching, I think this is a system where if one person wants to screw it up for everyone else, we have to make laws so that they can't. Because people are selfish and drugs are addictive. Some drugs, especially nicotine.
No.
So this is what got rid of peanuts on airplanes.
That's taken it a little far.
But that's what they did.
Because
right?
too many peanut shells?
No, because people were allergic to peanuts. Ricky, I think it's Ricky Gervais who got a
cigarette. I'm talking about smoke in the air.
You've seen his bit on
That's
this?
also different
He's
than
like,
smoke.
now I can't eat peanuts. No, because the peanut dust can get in the air and it can kill somebody.
I see.
So, look, man, I understand maybe the peanut thing because you got a lot of people allergic to peanuts. And if you're in a closed cabin with recirculated air, you can die. We're basically saying this group of people can't fly. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. So come back to check us out when we go live. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and we are also available on all podcast platforms for free if you want to listen to us there. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all next time.